Hello. Hello, YouTube. And my 451 subscribers. I appreciate you guys still having me on your feed. Things have changed a lot. And I'm going to start posting. I feel like there needs to be a record of all the paper cuts that our president takes and the changes that are taking place in our country and around the world. The deal that was made out on Jekyll Island in North Carolina, I forget what they called it, but we've been living under it for over 80 years, and all those deals have been kiboshed, and Trump has been doing amazing work. Amazing. In my opinion. Though there's a lot of mess to clean up. I mean, I'm watching these videos on these immigrants getting arrested, just your normal, not in the riots, just crossing a border or a traffic stop, and they've been here for 15 years and have kids and got a DUI way back when, got caught with weed way back when, and boom, you're deported to Honduras with a family of 4. I just would like to encourage anyone that is illegal, do what is asked of you. We're asking you to submit to knowing who you are and where you're at, and maybe asking you to self-deport. Get your stuff in order and do it, because it's worth being here. That is my suggestion. I don't believe that the Democrats will get back in power anytime soon. So, yeah, I feel bad, but we need to have, our culture is important. We need to spread it to the rest of the world. We don't need to accept the rest of the world's garbage. You've seen Keir Starmur hanging out with Trump over at his palatial term, or I think this one was called Edinburgh or something. It wasn't Turnberry. It must be a second golf course he has over there. I don't know if he cut the EU deal at his first golf course or the second, but at any rate, Keir Starmur comes rolling in right after we get the news. Why the mainstream media does not say this and hasn't is ridiculous. Vladimir Putin sent out 150 ships. They have, basically they're all outside of the UK, around England, in response to the United States sending nuclear weapons to England. And what that was a show of solidarity, friendship. They walked down the plane together. They walked step by step together. And it was symbolistic. Why the news doesn't report it is crazy. You have Lavrov saying we're in World War III, which, to all y'all who have supported me and have watched my videos through time, at one point I was doing stuff, political stuff, I guess, a little bit, but I felt like I could be targeted by, and would have been, by the outgoing administration and the NSA, and I didn't want to get put on a list. At one point, I had 1,000 subscribers, I think, and then pretty quickly, bam, and then I was like, I'm not going down this road. I'm not gonna get put on a list and turned into frickin' Alex Jones or something. Not that I'm at all anything like that. I'm just saying I don't want to be persecuted. But I think that's gone away now. I think our freedom of speech and our First Amendment rights are intact. I don't think our government is looking in on us unless we're doing something illegal. And that's the way it should be if you're an American citizen. Give me an amen on that. But yeah, Starmer was over in Scotland and went to Trump's golf course and followed him around like a puppy and walked up and down the stairs with him to show solidarity because Putin's outside of England with 150 ships because we sent a nuclear weapons over there. And Putin is contemplating, he's playing the game. Like, what's he going to do? Not that Vladimir Putin will ever watch my video, but this Russian business has been in our culture since, since the 50s, since way before me. I mean, my parents were hiding under desks to learn how to drill for a nuclear incoming weapon. We had Rocky, Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone, or I'm sorry, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme. Who's that other idiot that lives over there now? Seagal. They're all fighting these Russians forever. We've been fighting these Russians, all right? And we've been told that we should be worried. Well, where we're actually at is we're at a spot where we are so technologically advanced than they are, and our spending on our military is for many years. So the force multiplier on the military spending, it gets exaggerated every year it goes on, and this has been going on for 8 years. More than that. But I mean, the large military spending that we've been doing is 7.5 years or something. So the force multiplier on that they would get annihilated by us. They know that. So will he use a nuke? Will he use a tactical nuke? If he does, he absolutely loses his regime. As it sits right now, he's kind of forced. I mean, I don't see how he doesn't just get the heck out of Ukraine and enter into some agreements with the rest of the world on trade instead of being on the opposite side of it and being a pariah. It's unbelievable. The Russian people, if there's any Russian people that see this, look, it's up to you to get out of this. Like, it's on you. Y'all need to do something. I can't really promote anything like that on this platform, but I will say there are ways to do it. Look at the American Revolution. Freedom is not free, as you can see in Ukraine, and it's easier to lay back and just be a slave to all this business. Like, unfortunately, I've looked at, I know my American history, not so good on South American history. I've learned European history and Russian history, and y'all have been you're just basically serfs or slaves to the czar or whoever's running the show over there, whatever you want to call them this decade. So the message to Russia would be, we're ready to crush you, bruh. I mean, hey, the all of us internally, like Trump is playing nice with you, but in reality, you know, it's the other way around. I mean, we would love to financially crush you. We'd love to see you all break up. And that's what's probably going to happen. Vladimir could have, and maybe still can, sidestep this and come back into the human race here, but more and more it looks like he keeps stepping further into despotic, tyrannical maniac. I mean, it's unbelievable with all the rare earth and oil they have over there, all the land they have over there, all the fresh water they have over there. They have lakes and stuff over there. They could, they could work with other countries and everybody could be prosperous, but no. They're still in some post World War II or World War II era where they actually think this military might matters. Maybe it will again in the future when you get more advanced, but when we start talking about us, we start talking about layers of air stuff going on. It's just not artillery, drones, and jets. It's, there's 3 more layers above that. Bombers and satellites and recon planes and just everything, dude. We will roll over you, and it won't be a trench war. We'll be taking hundreds of kilometers, if not thousands a day. So, not that we will ever get involved, because what is Trump's end goal on this deal? Well, put these Russians out of business once and for all, for fucking decades at this point. Their population is going to be decimated because of all the males that they've just been killed. So we'll see what happens. And we'll see why the media did not understand the pomp and circumstance of Starmer walking up and down the steps and up and down the plane with Trump all day, like they're best friends, step in step. And why was that? And that was because Putin has 150 ships around the UK. And they're worried about nuclear weapons going off in the UK. And then nuclear weapons being sent to Russia. Yeah. See y'all later.